Hello, hello. This is happening. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna talk loudly because I don't have a good mic on my computer. I'm working on that. I am here sharing my Yin Yoga subscription product. It's in my app. You can download the app anywhere you find apps at Yogini Prana. And in the app, I'm offering a subscription for Yin Yoga. This is for anyone, all genders welcome. This is a space that I'm holding to bring awareness to others about Yin Yoga and the magical embodiment benefits of this practice. When I started doing yoga about 20 years ago, it'll be 20 years ago this summer, and I loved it immediately. I knew I would always practice yoga. And it was a few years ago that I discovered Yin Yoga here in San Francisco. I was at 8 Limbs Yoga in Seattle when I first started doing yoga and practicing yoga. And then when I moved to San Francisco, I started practicing at Yoga Tree here. It's no longer here. But I discovered Yin Yoga there, and I was blown away because in this practice, we find the embodiment principles of releasing tension in our joints, fascia, muscles, tendons, is directly related to stored feelings and emotions of the subtle body. In Ayurveda, we understand that emotions are part of our body. They are expressed in animation of face. We can see that. But what we can't see sometimes are when we hold painful experiences or trauma in our bodies, and we don't even know we're doing it. So it's a practice that helps us to release those old tensions in a physical way. So the beauty of this is that if you have experienced some kind of trauma, almost everybody in our, in our world has had some kind of trauma experience, whether it's in the childhood or in the adult years. I've had trauma at all different times of my life because life happens. I've been in car accidents. Maybe you have too. I have, as a child, I was neglected a lot, generally speaking, because that's just what happened in our culture in the 70s and 80s. A lot of single parenting, a lot of inability to watch the children, and then things just happen. So that's part of my experience. In my youth, I made some poor choices and put myself in situations. Some were by parental support or unknowing parental support. And that was traumatic for me. So for many years, I put myself in talk therapy, working through things, and it helped. I'm a huge advocate of talk therapy. But because of what I think is unique, I don't think every therapist can understand what I've gone through. So I don't think that therapist could actually lead me to really sorting it out. And if you are in that boat, if you haven't found the right therapist, and maybe the person is out there, but you just haven't found them. And if you are doing talk therapy, that's fantastic. I support you. But adding yin yoga or other modalities like dancing, anything that moves the body, Pilates is also a really great healing modality. Ballet, bar classes, those can release everything as well. Yin yoga is one facet to this, and I'm going to demonstrate and share a mini session here with you today. But if you are doing any kind of talk therapy, modern medical practices to release the trauma. This is a support. This is just an additional support. And I'm holding space here as a facilitator, a yoga teacher, and I am here to share with you this is a powerful practice. And really, having a home yoga practice, including yin yoga, is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself. This is a self-care practice. So not only are we able to do this ourselves by embodying yoga, we can release tension, but you can do it every day. And that's the key to this, is if you can add this practice every day or every other day even, you compound the release, so then you have a fully functional, wildly vital body. And that's what I'm all about. That's what my hope is for you, because when you feel this, you have superpowers. You can do anything. You tap into your intuition. You tap into the connection with the universe, and you balance the 7 base chakras of the subtle body to do what you were meant to do in this world. We all have some special, unique gift. And if you're holding tension, you may have a block. You may have a block that goes back a while ago and has limited your personal development. So I find this to be a joyful practice. We don't have to get hung up on the trauma part of it. And I just want to begin this yoga session with you. So this is live streaming into my app, Yogini Prana app. Let me just, I actually missed part of the live stream here. Let me just add that. Whoopsie, it happens. Not going to stress out about it. And my subscribers already know what I just mentioned. So that's, let's see here. It's not supported. What? Let's see here. Okay. Well, one more try here. A link. Okay. That's probably what's going on. Okay, thanks for hanging in here with me. I love it. No one is here yet anyway, so no problem. Can I share it? There we go. Perfect. I figured it out. I love how this. Okay, so here we are. So I love how technology, literally, this life of technology forces us to go with the flow, because everything's changing all the time, right? Okay, so we are here now. And what I want to share with you is a quote by Lao Tzu. He was a famous Chinese philosopher. And he says this, I'm reading it, so I want to make sure I get it right. When I let go of who I am, I become what I might be. So we are right now this person with all the baggage, all the old emotions, all the old hangups, traumas, whatever we've eaten, we've become that. And when we let go of these old ways of being, like perhaps we let go of our traumas in yin yoga, we forgive, we allow health and vitality to be part of us because we start changing our diet. We start having more interest in really elevating our experience. So letting go of the past helps us become who we are meant to be. So I just want to bring that to awareness here. And we're going to do a beautiful little mini yoga session today. I'm going to show you 3 poses, and we're going to do a little guided meditation at the end. So I want to invite you to set up a yoga mat, if you will. If you want to work on a blanket, you don't have a yoga mat, that's just fine. You are at your own space. So I invite you to do this. This is a Pilates roller. This can be a really great support because in yin yoga, we don't have to, but it can be very restorative to add supports as we're practicing. I have another yoga mat that can be a great support. So if you have an extra one, you might put that in your repertoire here. I have a blanket, and you can use lots of blankets. If you don't have any of these other things, it's totally fine. And I have a yoga bolster. If you have a yoga block too, that can work. I don't have one with me right now, but I have this. I have pillows on my couch that I could use. And all of these things are here to help facilitate the stretch. And today we're going to work on the meridians of the liver and the gallbladder, which lies just under the liver. These 2 powerful organs in the spring, I'm filming this in the spring, are working really hard, getting rid of all of the old fat from the winter. And we're trying to clean it up. And maybe you're already eating a lighter kind of meal, or maybe you are doing a spring cleanse. Not sure where you are in all of this, but just helping you understand why we're doing these poses. The other thing about the liver and the gallbladder, year round, they help us to digest our emotions. They help us to work through and literally compress out of the body through waste, creating waste that gets sorted out in our digestion. And then it helps us to have cleaner blood. So the gallbladder, the liver, 2 important organs. They're actually here on the right side. I'm doing this, but it's on the right side. On the right side, really, really powerful. So when we decide to, in Shavasana, lay on our right side, we're allowing gravity to just help move things over and just kind of do its thing. If we're laying on the left side, we may find that the liver is a little more labored in its work, and it's one of the biggest organs, so we really want to support the liver. So that's the goal of this practice today. I hope you will find it to be lovely. Let's begin by placing hands on our knees, and I'm in Tsukasa Pose, just an easy pose here, just rocking forward and backward. Exhaling, inhaling as we press forward, exhaling as we're compressing our lungs, inhaling, pressing the chest forward, exhaling, pressing it back. Our warming up helps us to offer some moistening of the vertebrae. We are creating some we're creating synovial fluid, and that helps to juice up our vertebrae and joints. We can gently bring our arms out to either side and begin to roll the shoulders back and down, opening the heart, breathing in and out through the nose. You can have a slight lift to the head, gazing up in front of you. And smiling, relaxing the face. And then let's begin on the other side, rolling it forward now. Relaxing the shoulder girdle helps us to hone our alignment and sit upright, stand upright with grace, with delight, and with good energy flow up and down the vertebral column of the spine, which represents our chakra system. You can bring yourself over to the left side, Placing the right hand on your knee and just gently give yourself a nice twist. Tone the abdominals as you do. Lifting the chest, gently tilting the chin up to the ceiling. Breathing in and out. Take a deep breath and see if you can reach over just a little bit more with your twist. Where are you today? Make a little note to yourself. And in your own time, gently release your twist. And we're going to do it on the other side. Twisting. Breathing in. Gazing slightly up, lifting the chin. We're allowing our neck to have some release here. Lifting the chin helps to stimulate the thyroid gland. As we lift, we're allowing lymph nodes to drain any held lymph in this area. Take a deep breath and gently twist just a little bit more. Breathe here. Release the pose. Bring your right arm up and over and gently give yourself a good stretch on the right side and gently twisting or gently lifting here from the rib cage, facilitating the stretch. We are releasing tension from the ribs, the intercostal muscles, really connecting with all the fascia that pulls the body up and finds it so hard to do its work with gravity pulling us down. This invites Uddiyana Vayu, the motion of flying, quite literally, reaching over to the other side, looking up, feeling the body here, connecting with the breath. Roll the shoulders back as you lift. Gently ignite the rib cage. Get connected with the abdominal wall here. What is going on your left side that may be different than the right? Breathe here. And release. I'm going to just move around here. I want to invite you to stay in Tsukasa Pose and just gently release the lower back, stretching forward. You don't have to slump over. You can just keep the spine tall. If it feels comfortable to you, you can bring a blanket here to help facilitate a little bit of a deeper stretch, keeping the spine of the back straight. The way you can know this if doing this at home and you don't have a mirror or looking in a computer, the way I am, I'm checking my spine here, is you can roll the shoulders back. So connecting with the shoulder girdle and gently pull from the heart forward, opening the heart here. So if we start rounding over, we're going to crunch up the heart and limit our blood flow. So let's not do that. Just breathe. So the quality of yin yoga setting up is key here because we're holding the poses and we want to really stretch. Right now we're stretching the groin. And the meridians that we're working for the liver and gallbladder are in the groin, the inner parts of our leg, as well as the outer parts of our leg. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. Take a deep breath here and press up. Notice how you're feeling in your inner thighs, in your groin. Extend the legs out and gently shake the legs out. So the meridians, I'm just going to show you here. You can stay in staff pose, which is this pose here. And the meridians are these lines that go from our big toe to the inside of the leg, and then come up and wrap around, crossing over. And then the left leg lands over here on our right side, the liver. This actually goes up the neck and then wraps up to the mouth and to the eyes. So this is the subtle body that I'm talking about. These are meridian lines, and these are in line with traditional Chinese medicine. Yin yoga incorporates this release of feminine energy, and there's an overlap with traditional Chinese medicine. And then the outer leg from the pinky toe, it moves up the IT band here, around the back to the gallstone, up around the back of our neck, because the gallstones, not the gallstone, the gallbladder is under the liver. It wraps up the back of the neck, around the scalp in a million different ways here, several different ways. The sides of the ears and temporal muscles. So we see the connection of the subtle body from the head all the way down to our toes. It's very exciting work that we're doing, and to be aware of it, I think, motivates people. So that's why I'm sharing that with you now. So the first pose that we're going to do, we're going to roll onto our feet. Woo! Gently find yourself. Had a little stone there, turquoise. Gives power, eliminates negativity. And we want to give ourselves a forward fold. Now, in your forward fold, it may be such that this is where you are, or even here. You may have some tightness in your gluteal muscles, your lower back. So when you're doing this pose, just be really mindful. Connect with the breath. Spread the toes wide. Start with the pinky toe. Spread the toes wide all the way to the big toe. And find your first downward facing dog. Bring your hands to the floor, your feet behind you. You want to press the heels to the floor. It may be such that you bring your toes together and bend your knees to really focus on the upper body. This is a great way to do your first downward dog of the day. But if you're ready to do some stretching of the legs, then just find yourself here and just hang, breathing in and out, connecting with the breath. Again, melt the shoulder girdle down the spine toward the tailbone. In this case, up the spine. Breathe in and out. Tone the tummy, lift the right leg, and gently place your feet between your hands if that works for you. In your own time, bring your hands to the inside of your leg. We're going to hang here for a low lunge. Drop the left foot. You can uncurl the toes if that feels good to you, or activate the toes. And what we want to do here is to build up some support. You can either just hang here, feeling and adjusting, improving the stretch here in the groin, in this part of the left leg too. Or you can bring these props together. I have a bolster, have a blanket, and gently allow yourself to enjoy this deeper stretch. It may be such that we have to adjust here, building up some space, really finding the right space. It may go right here at your belly. And it allows you the leverage to really release the inner groin. We're going to hold this here for about 90 seconds, and then we'll move on. You can look up if that feels good to you. You're working your neck muscles, stimulating the throat chakra. If it feels better to just hang the head, it's absolutely fine. And release the pose. Gently tuck the left toes under. Press yourself back. Press your booty back. Remove the props. And then give yourself a nice little runner's lunge here by pulling your leg, the ball of the foot back and toward you, pulling the toes toward you. Feel the counter pose here and the release of the groin. And then gently bring your other knees to meet your other knees and give yourself a child's pose. So just gently rolling down. Feel the release. Now, if you're really stiff and you're not able to get into child's pose, it's okay. One adaptation here is to do puppy pose, where you bring your knees wide as the mat. Your bum is parallel with your knees, and you gently rest your head on your hands. This is very relaxing. And at any time during this practice, you can return to this pose and enjoy the release of the lower back. Take a cleansing breath here and press yourself back up into downward facing dog. Walk, skip, or jump to the top of the mat. Raise the arms up. Give yourself a beautiful stretch. Bend back just slightly. And bring it back forward. Downward facing dog. Pedal the feet if it feels good to you. Melt your shoulder blades up the spine in this inversion. Inversions are powerful. They bring joy, feelings of joy and happiness into our lives. Bring that left leg up. Bend the knee. Place the foot between the hands if that feels good to you. Drop the right knee. Uncurl the toes. And we are going to hang out here for dragon pose. You can wiggle your foot forward a little. Give yourself some leverage. You can gently hold yourself here if you don't want to mess around with props or don't have them handy, or you can bring the prop into your groin area and gently bend over and really allow this opening to happen. Or you can bring your hands inside and gently lift yourself up. We're going to hang out here for a few moments. 90 seconds, breathing in and out through the nose. If your knee needs more support, by all means, you can roll your mat and place the extra layer under your knee or add a blanket under your knee. And I'm going to gently look up, breathing here. Opening the heart if you can. It may feel good to use these props to lift yourself up just a little bit to focus on the groin. Developing your own practice, it takes your own finesse to understand your body. All of our bodies are totally different. Not one is the same, right? And gently release this pose. You can gently land on your right heel and gently use your hand to pull the ball of the foot and toes toward you. Breathing, connecting. One more breath here in this counter pose. And then release. So if you do have props, gently bring them to the front, near the front side of your mat. We're going to find ourselves back here. Let's just give ourselves a downward facing dog. And another puppy pose. You can bring the knees to the sides of your mat and gently press yourself forward. You may find that you can hang out on your hands, or you might just feel like you can really bend it down. Whatever feels right to you. You can keep the bum parallel with the knees and press yourself forward, giving a nice long stretch in the spine. And then in your own time, press yourself up. We're going to gently give ourselves forward fold. Just hang here for a moment. Feel the connection with the earth. Enjoy this sweet inversion. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to face you in forward fold. We're going to bring our right leg over our left. We're going to do what is called a shoelace pose. And we're going to gently find ourselves dipping down. Whoops. Whoops. Dipping down here. How's it going to work? Okay, there we go. Finding your best space, and you don't have to do it this way. You could just find yourself on your bum and then roll ourselves back onto our bum, tucking the right leg under, tucking the left leg under. So this is my shoelace pose. Another way to do this is to gently wrap our legs in this way. This is a tighter pose. So whichever feels comfortable to you, and your legs may look totally different. You may be able to have legs that are like this. This is powerful too, but it's more comfortable for me. I have short legs because I'm petite to do it this way. So we're going to be stretching this left side first. And we can hang out here, lifting and gently pulling the knee toward the chest. This is a lovely space to be if we don't have props. If you do have props, you can bring these over and build it all up. I'm gonna add a yoga mat. So if you're doing this at home in your own time, once you learn some of these poses, you can set this up so easily in your own time. I recommend doing some stretching and then do 3 poses to really get the good benefits of the release. And then you want to bend yourself over, place your head on, and you're really allowing that stretch to happen fully in the outer gluteal muscle. We're going to hold this here for 5 breaths. This forward fold in this shoelace pose allows us to feel that connection up the back of the neck and the head area, the temporal muscle area. Okay, really nice. So I'm going to remove my props to show you my unwinding. And then we want to just give ourselves a moment here, pressing back on our hands and bum. Maybe walk the bum side to side. Shake the legs out. We're going to reverse the pose. So let's just gently bring our knees to our chest. Give ourselves a little hug here. Maybe play around with your balance. Gently tuck the left leg under the right side. Bring the right leg over if that feels good to you. Again, this also is a really great way to do this pose. You just want to focus here on the one side. But if you're able to, let's try it in a complete way. So bringing that right leg over the knee, find where is most comfortable. So this is a difficult one for me. So this is going to look totally different in my range of motion because I am not really able to bend any more than this. I had a car accident. It's been 5 years ago. Oh my gosh, it's been so long ago. And it caused major damage to my right thigh and right hip. So I have to be careful, and my range of motion is just, it's not what it once was. And that's okay, but releasing the tension that's all kinked up here is a very healthy practice for me. So I try to do this one a few times a week. There are so many to do. Breathe here. Let's stay here for 4 more breaths. And in your own time, let's unwind from this pose. Let's remove the props. Oh, gently roll over to that left side. Unravel. This one's kind of tough for me. And do what you need to do to feel reconnected to this area. I'm going to hug my knees to my chest. Give my ankles some circles. Pressing it forward here. Shake it out. Roll the shoulders back. So lovely. Okay, so we're gonna do one more supine pose and then a short shavasana and meditation. So a supine pose means that we're lying on our backs, and I'm going to add props to this. This is a really yummy restorative practice, and I think I'll just use the way I've set this up here with a yoga mat on a bolster, a blanket on top of the yoga mat, and I'm going to bring it right up against my lower back, as straight as I can make it. Let's see here, a little mixed up. Okay, so right here at my lower back, take a deep breath here. Bring the feet together. So it looks like this. Bringing the feet together. Now, if this feels good to you, great. We're going to do a counter pose to release all of that forward motion that we were doing and just offering a more dynamic expression of tension release in the hips and in these outer and inner hips. And what we're going to do is you can gently hold the ankles here. If you have a strap, I do have a strap here, I see it. So let me show you the strap method because it's very, very helpful. You can bring a strap, or if you have like a towel, you can do this to offer some good support. Bring a strap around the ankles. And gently, you can pull it like this, or you can really buckle yourself up. And because this has a little ring buckle yourself up and get yourself in a nice contortion position here. And bring the back of the feet toward the groin. Find that area of tension in the strap that helps to support you in this pose. Now, this isn't necessary. You can simply just leave the feet together. And then in your own time, take a deep breath and begin to roll yourself back as you find your way. To make an adjustment here, you want this really supporting the spine and opening the heart, allowing the arms to splay out. Make sure your head is supported, your neck is supported. Relax here and breathe in your own time. You can close your eyes. This is an active pose, so make sure your feet are activated and pressing together. The strap helps. And we're going to stay here. Let's stay here for 10 breaths. I will count it out, and I will come back and remind you when we are going to unravel from this pose. We are at 5 more breaths. Take your last breath here. And let's begin to unravel from this pose. If you have a strap on, you can gently release the strap. And give yourself a lift up, unraveling from this pose in your own way. We have made it into an amazing feeling. For me, I feel completely released in my hips. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? So what we've done here is release our root and sacral chakras. These are the chakras that represent safety. The root chakra represents safety, groundedness, feelings of just absolute security or unsafety. So if we have these this chakra blocked, we are usually in a fight or flight mode all the time. We never really feel a sense of belonging or a sense of connection in our space, our body space. So you can see how that would cause a lot of problems. And then the sacral chakra is a chakra of creativity, procreation, healthy reproductive organs. And if you find a block here, you may be infertile, you may have creative block. Like if you're a writer, you might have writer's block. If you are a creator, you may not know what to do. It can also manifest into medical signs like infertility, inability to be sexual, just not having that feeling at all. And that whole connection with sexuality is eminently important with our identities and how we perceive ourselves in the world. So releasing these two chakras are very lovely practice. Now, what we're going to do now is our Shavasana. So you could leave the supports and take Shavasana in this open heart position. That would be really lovely. Or you can allow yourself the moment in time to really reconnect with the body. Allow the body to integrate all of the work that you've done. Roll the shoulders back and down the spine. Allow the spine to fully align, and you can open the hands here or place your hands on your hips, tummy, or heart. Whatever you do, allow yourself this moment in time to settle in, integrating the stretches that you did, allowing the release to really take shape with this complete total body relaxation. Allow the jaw to open slightly, releasing the jaw. Release the ears and the forehead tension. Release the eyes of any tension, the neck. And allow your body to feel like it has been here for 10,000 years in the same shape. Release any tension in the lower back, the gluteal muscles, the tummy, the legs. Just melt into the floor completely. And give yourself the space to do nothing. Ignore any sensations. Notice them and allow them to just be. We'll be here for a few breaths, and I will mind the time, and then I will awaken you with the sound of a bell. Begin to awaken the fingertips and toes. Become aware of your surroundings, the way the skin feels, noticing extra range of motion, potential in the hips and legs. When it feels comfortable to you, take a deep breath. Roll over to your right side and huddle here for just a moment, allowing the body to return to a homeostasis in your experience. Press up and find yourself in a seated position. I am in Hero's Pose, but you could take a cross-legged Tsukasa Pose, Lotus Pose. Bring hands to the heart, and if it feels good to you, you can close your eyes or unfocus your gaze in front of you. Connect with the breath and allow the inner landscape to come into view. Noticing the shifts and changes that you may have felt during this yin yoga practice. Allow the changes and shifts to be present, observing them, honoring the shifts and changes as they express what is now part of you, change. Notice any feelings or ideas, secretions, and allow the mind to simply whisk these away like a little broom, dusting the frontal lobe of the brain. Enjoy the clarity of the mind as all of the tension released from the body presents a new landscape to you, fostering clarity and self-expression. Feelings of groundedness take shape, and we become lighter in our body's experience. Notice the eyes gazing up to the third eye with eyes closed, or your gaze bringing your vision up toward the center of the forehead. This is a healthy practice for the eyes, and we also begin to see colors. Notice the rainbow of colors that might be in your mind's eye. You are connecting with your intuition, your internal wisdom that helps us to navigate our life, and it helps to hone and shape our wisdom. Allow us to move the vision to the top of our head, connecting with the universe, our surroundings. We are part of our environment, transmitting energy from our bodies outward and inward from our environment. We are a connection of positivity. If it feels good to you, smile. Bring hands to the third eye. Take a deep breath. Hands to the crown chakra. I bow to you and thank you for sharing your practice with me. May the light in you illuminate the light in me. Namaste. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, you can respond to me in the app, or you can send me an email at angela@yoginiprana.live. Thank you again for being here. Namaste.